Breaking off all units. Fire at with. Pick a target. Stabilizer goes six. Anybody cover me. I don't suppose they've got my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. Okay. Wait for reinforcements.
Oh, that were a bit spicy, Dan. Top stuff.
Oh, no worries.
Thank you very much, as always.
Thank you so much.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to I'm absolutely pumped about this stream, lads. I don't know about you. It's Revenge of the 5th. We couldn't get together yesterday for a May the 4th Be With You stream because I'd got a review scheduled to go up, and a couple of us were out getting a little bit busy, spending a bit of money, which we'll touch on a bit later. But I think it's safe to say we've all had a really bloody good week of Star Wars, really. I mean, you know, first and foremost, I want to touch on something that's happened on my end, at least. A really exciting opportunity came up recently with Hasbro UK, Star Action Figures, and Mr. Stormtrooper Davis, which we'll go into in a little bit more detail later. Once again, if you've tuned into any of my recent reviews, for those of you that are watching, I want to send out a massive thanks to Star Action Figures and the team at Hasbro UK, who've basically made my recent Marathon of Black Series reviews possible. They were really kind enough to send out some amazing product recently, and you can go and check out those on the channel if you haven't done so already. We've got a packed house tonight as well, guys. There's a lot of people watching, so absolutely buzzing about this. Let's celebrate this in style. We've got 80s Kid from the 90s. What's up, everyone? Happy Revenge of the 5th. Are you excited for the new Star Wars action figures that were revealed on Friday? I think it's safe to say, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Find out soon.
That's it. We'll be touching on those later. Sea Lion Studios, hello. Welcome aboard. We've got Brandon. Brandon himself from Hasbro UK is watching. Happy Revenge of the 5th. Brandon, cheers for tuning in, my friend. And we've got Chief Solar Eyes. What's up, guys? Happy 5th. Yeah, I'm really excited today. We've not got a massive amount of Hasbro product reveals to go through. There wasn't a plethora of stuff revealed on Friday, but enough to get us juices flowing. But like I said, there's been some really exciting opportunities for fans and stuff this week. One of those is a little bit of an offer that's going on now. I'm just going to put this out there. I'm not entirely sure how the offer's going to run, how long the offer's going to run for. But if you head over to staractionfigures.co.uk, as part of their May the 4th Be With You celebrations, they're currently offering a bit of a freebie, a bit of a free gift with purchases over £50 at the moment. So that can be in stock Star Wars product, pre-orders. As long as you spend more than £50 on the site, you get a free gift. And what that free gift is, if I just prepare my slides, and once again, a massive thanks goes out to Mr. Stormtrooper Davis over on Instagram. He's put together a series of incredible prints featuring Star Wars figures from the Vintage Collection and the Black Series. Now, there are 4 prints in this set. The first of which, as you can see, features Darth Maul and Ahsoka from the Clone Wars Season 7. Absolutely gorgeous prints. I've actually got a number of sets in hand, which I can vouch for are absolutely incredible in terms of quality. I'll be giving some of these away on the channel soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, like I said, there's 4 prints in the set, and this is one of my favorites. I absolutely love it. Look at that. If that doesn't capture one of the most iconic posters in all of cinema, I don't know what does. You can also go and check out my recent review on this figure if you haven't done so already. That's up on the channel now. Like I said, Mr. Stormtrooper Davis, absolutely knocking it out of the park. This one's a really cool one as well. Obviously, with the recent finale of the Bad Batch, Just some absolutely stunning quality work that, like I said, you can get your hands on if you spend £50 or more over at staractionfigures.co.uk. So really, really cool stuff. Hasbro UK really getting the fans involved this week with content and content creation, all that sort of stuff. Absolutely love it. I'm here for it. And again, a big thanks to Hasbro UK and Star Action Figures. So with that out of the way, lads, how the devil are you? How are we doing? Are we all right?
Living it, loving it.
Surviving
Friday.
James? Yep.
I'll second it. Yeah, we're getting there.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So it has been May the 4th be with you. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, Dan and myself were out and about yesterday spending that coin. Dan, do you want to go first, mate, and show the lovely viewers what you spent your entire wage packet on? I'm guessing because you bloody hell, you did it, mate.
So, first things first, it was Free Comic Book Day, which I didn't realise it was until the day before. So, I jumped in a queue, and apparently they had discounts on Star Wars stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
But there was nothing that I really saw that I was bothered about. I was very close to getting that Phantom Menace set, but reasons made me not get that, and it was quite good that happened, as we'll get into. But of course, we got some comics. The only one that I think most of you guys will be about is all Star Wars. I haven't actually had a chance to read this yet, so that's quite cool. Always nice to get free stuff, and it's Free Comic Book Day. It's a good way to get people to read, because I can't. And that's why I look at pictures. Anyways, and so me and you were like, oh, well, let's bounce to No, we didn't go to entertain. We went to the game first. We thought, oh, sack entertainer off initially. We went to game. Nothing really in game.
No.
So we then went to entertainer because we were walking back, and they'd got a Star Wars display, which is quite rare to see entertainer do. And they had some Micro Galaxies. I thought, what? And on the front there was this old droidy boy. I had to put him in the leg mode because he's just very leggy and very cool. Well, a vulture droid. I sprant to it. Steve's like, what are you doing? You nut job. I'm like, oh, crack addict.
I've never seen you move so fast, if I'm being honest, mate.
Mate, same. I've never won a race at primary school, but I think I could have done it. Because ain't no one getting my way. So yeah, it's kind of nice to see these trickle out into entertainers and other shoppies as well. So I picked up that. I picked up the A-Wing. It's a very nice A-Wing. It's just a little bit compact. And I initially had the TIE Interceptor, so I had a little stack already. So we're like, oh, should we have a look in the back, see what we can find? Because there's usually a bit... Oh, yeah, So this was shown off at Celebration Europe, and that pulled at me little heartstrings. I'm like, oh, I remember this being shown off, and them demonstrating it, and me getting all gooey about it, and finally, after all this time, I've got it in hand, and I love that. It's amazing.
It looks so good.
I think I need to review this.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, at some point I'll try and get a review out on that. It's gorgeous. Not only that though, because the thing that made it even more difficult, because they had 2 of them on shelf, they only had 1 of this. Naturally, I just had to pick it up, didn't I? I put the Interceptor back down. I'm probably going to go back for that anyway. I should have just picked it up there and then. But you know what? I have 0 regrets. I've decked it out with the clones that have been waiting for it. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. I'm proper chuffed with that.
It's good.
Sorry, lads. The dog's got in my room. Bear with me. I'm sorry.
It's all kicking off. It's all kicking off.
little brief interlude there as James deals with a doggo. I did also, before Force Friday, I did pick up these as well. Let's just quickly run through that. We've got Y-Wing there. Bit of filler while there's some shouting going.
Yeah.
There's a TIE
Radio
bomber.
silence. No one likes radio silence.
There we go.
Crisis averted, ladies and gentlemen. Not a figure knocked over and a happy dog in sight.
Hey.
Apologies. My beating heart.
I'm guessing that your room, James, is the one room that is literally out of bounds for Toby.
I'm so happy that 90% of my stuff has got glass doors on it. Whew.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Sorry. Do continue, boys. Do continue.
I should have taken glass cabinets into consideration when we got cats.
Oh, mate.
I can attest. I can attest. So yeah, you did a bit of a decent spend, didn't you, Dan?
I did a big spend, and then that's not just with online orders which haven't arrived yet. But
well, that's one of the things that we'll touch on in just a bit.
Yes.
James, mate, you didn't go quite as hard as me and Dan did, but you picked up some stuff nonetheless. What did you get?
Well, I haven't got them to show you, but we got some Series 4 Micro Galaxy blind boxes. Too many of them, and we've ended up with too many doubles, but that's part of the fun. I didn't pick anything else up Star Wars related that day, but I did get a parcel in the form of the TVC Hu Yang, which I didn't expect, to be fair. I didn't think it was due out yet, but good old Star Action Figures. Sending out that dispatch email. Sweet. That's nice. If you've got the Black Series one, it's basically just a smaller version. So, not a lot to say, really. Just had a fun day, other than that. Went to see The Phantom Menace. That was exciting, because I was too small to go when it first came out in the cinema, so fulfilling childhood dreams, and all that fun stuff. That's about it, though.
Good stuff. I'm a little bit like you, Dan. I spent quite a bit.
You did, didn't you?
I did. I did pick up a little bit of something prior to May the 4th that I just wanted to share, just because I'm so excited about it, because it's been on my hit list for a while, especially since I missed out on the Black Series version. But I recently left my job, and as such, the guys at work had a little bit of a whip round, and they got me an Amazon voucher amongst some other bits and pieces. So I put it to good use and bought Star Wars stuff. So I finally got the Obi-Wan Kenobi TVC set with Showdown Obi-Wan and Jules End Vader, and oh my god, it's gorgeous. I bought it fully with the intention of opening them up. But as soon as I opened the box and I actually got, because I knew the cards were beautiful anyway, but seeing them in person, it's just like, I can't do it. I really can't do it. If I do, I'm going to have to get another set, because the cards are just absolutely stunning, and they counter each other so nice. Like, they're just so good. The contrasting colours, like the images that they've used. I know we give TVC a bit of a hard time on these streams. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I love 3 3/4 inch. TVC is a bit of a subject, but when it's good, man, is it good?
It's good.
It's really good. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing about this. Like I said, it's been on my hit list for a while, and the fact that it didn't cost me anything is always a bonus. In terms of what I actually picked up yesterday, the first thing I got was the full set, finally, of Obi-Wan Kenobi retro figures, because I've been meaning to get them from the Entertainer for a while, because they're all down to £4, but I've never been able to find the full wave. It's always been like Reva and a fifth brother, or an Inquisitor and an Obi-Wan. They've never had the full set, and Ned B was the one I wanted the most, but we found the full wave on shelf yesterday, and at £4 a piece, I couldn't say no. So I whipped all them up. I got the Retro Collection Sabine and Chopper from Forbidden Planet. Not overly impressed with those, but, wanted them nonetheless. It was a bit of a Retro Collection themed day yesterday, really, because, as Dan mentioned earlier, I also did a thing, or my wife did a thing, should I say, and Cara picked up this for me for my birthday next month. So didn't really have any plans on getting this originally when it was first announced. But after speaking with Wayne over at Star Action Figures and finding out actually how surprisingly popular this has been, and then, like I said, seeing the cards in person and knowing that they've increased the quality on the card backs themselves, I couldn't resist it. And like Dan said, with 10% off at Forbidden Planet yesterday as well, it was a no-brainer. So this will be going away until next month, and then when I finally get it back in my possession, when my birthday rolls around, I'm probably not going to open them up, just because the cards are so nice. So these will find their way into a protective case, but they're really, really nice figures. They really do look good. So yeah, like I said, it was a bit of a retro collection themed day yesterday, which doesn't happen often. Usually when I go out to spend money on Star Wars figures, it's the Black Series that I'm aiming for, but nonetheless, it was a 3 3/4 inch themed day yesterday, so it was all good. But like Dan also mentioned, we did make a couple of online purchases as well, and that brings us into the first, I'll not say product reveals, but first things that I want to touch up, because we don't have them in hand to show on camera, so we'll talk about them in the form of presentation slides that I produced earlier. So we both spent a little bit of money at the Disney store, and the first thing I think me and you, Dan, at least, really wanted to pick up was the Droid Factory TC-14, which I don't believe until maybe the day or maybe a couple of days before May the 4th had even been announced.
Yeah,
so
it was a real curveball, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just completely out of nowhere, and I've made quite a few points about this on Instagram in recent posts, but I'm a sucker for Droid Factory. I absolutely love it. But I've missed out on so much of the previous product. So I've made a point now of every time the Disney store release a Droid Factory set or a figure, I'm going to jump on it. And this was no exception. It's a really, really nice looking figure. Sold out really, really fast as well. Excuse me. Yeah, sold out really quick, which surprised me, considering that the Ahsoka Droid Factory set is still available. But yeah, it looks really, really good. So I'm really excited to get that one in hand. Did you pick this one up, James, or is this one that you left?
I've left this one, matey. 3 3/4 inch stuff, unless it's Ahsoka or Mando related, I kind of just leave it alone. But it's a nice one. It was very tempting, and a very big surprise, like you said yourself. I didn't expect to see it.
Yeah,
I'm curious to know though, are the elbows articulated?
As far as I know, yeah, because I'm pretty sure being a Droid Factory figure, it just utilizes the parts that are available at the parks. Obviously just repainted. So yeah, I would imagine it's a fully articulated figure. I've only picked up one for the time being, because I'm going to keep this one carded for my ever-growing Droid Factory focus. But if I get another one, if I get the opportunity to get another one, I'll probably open it up and give it a review and let you know on that front. But yeah, as far as I know, fully articulated. I don't think it has the vac metal that I think a lot of people were getting excited about from the images. The carded picture makes it look like it's vac metalized, but the image out of the box makes it look like it's got a more subdued palette. But yeah, excited about it all the same. Another item available at the Disney store for May the 4th that I picked up, I don't know about you guys, but I had to do it. I got the Sabine Wren Collector Series doll. I missed out on the Bo-Katan one, but I did get the Ahsoka doll that they released. I don't know whether it was last year or the year before. I love the presentation boxes that they have for these. The quality of the figures themselves are really, really good. And Sabine just looks like a really cool figure. I love the color scheme on the armor, love her helmet, love the lightsaber and stuff. So she's going to look really, really cool alongside my Ahsoka doll that I've already got.
That's going to pair so nicely with that, man.
Yeah, I love it. It's really nice. It reminds me of the Forces of Destiny Sabine that they did a few years back, but a little bit better. So yeah, I am really, really excited to get this one in hand. Did either of you two bother with this, or is this not something that you tend to lean towards?
Not up my street, to be fair, mate. It's no secret my expensive taste, points more towards the hot toys market. So,
I was just about to say that's where your 12 inches goes, isn't it?
Oh yes, mate.
But yeah, cool nonetheless. And while we're on the subject of dolls, I've cherry picked a few of the Disney Store products just because we touched on them in our previous stream that we did for the Imperial March campaign. There was the 187th clone helmet and the droid set and pins and all that sort of stuff. So this is just more or less to cover the stuff that we didn't know about when that stream came out. But the last thing that piqued my interest, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get, was the Queen Amidala collector's edition doll, which I've got to say, beautiful. Looks absolutely amazing. But unfortunately, it was limited to, I think, 3,100 worldwide. So naturally, it's sold out in an instant. I think it retailed for about £120, which I didn't think was too bad, considering the effort and the craftsmanship that's gone into it. But yeah, like I said, it sold out instantly. So I think this one's close but no cigar.
Yeah, I really wanted it. Just having the box.
Yeah, but the presentation of it looked really, really nice.
Just how quick it went. I wasn't quick enough.
Yeah, but never mind. It's one of those things. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Like I said, there's been some amazing products from the Disney store, from Hasbro. And there's been some amazing... Oh, let's just get rid of that. Sorry about that. There's been some amazing TV this week as well.
Oh, yes.
Let's talk about it. Tales of the Empire. Obviously, we had the Bad Batch season finale. We'll not go into too much detail about that, but guys, what did you think? Were you satisfied?
I've got a very lengthy therapy bill that's going to be sent to Lucasfilm after that.
It didn't go how I expected, but I'm glad of that, and it was just a satisfying ending.
Agreed.
It was really nice. Really nice.
Yeah,
I think it was so good. Far out from what everybody theorized. That's exactly why it worked so well. Yeah, in my opinion.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? I think a lot of people had sort of preconceived expectations that weren't necessarily met, but all the same, an amazing end to what's been an amazing series. I loved the extra ending as well. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it, but the final ending of that episode was just, I'm not gonna lie, I got a little bit emotional. I choked up a little bit. It was really, really good, and I said it to you lads when the episode finished in the group chat we've got over on Instagram, but I'm really keen to see where Omega pops up next, because I think it's a given that she will. She's gonna be around for a while. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. That was a good point that Crash the Hedgehog 92 brings up. I was disappointed in the portrayal of Scorch. Never really understood why he was there. Do you know what? They did him dirty. I saw it coming, but I was like, oh well, that's how that's going. But it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, like I said, there's been some pretty amazing TV this week, and I think we'd be amiss if we didn't talk about Tales of the Empire. A very limited series of shorts akin to Tales of the Jedi that came out last year, but in my opinion, equally as, if not better than Tales of the Jedi. Absolutely loved it. I'm so happy that they're divulging into this era of Star Wars, this not pre-rebellion, but that post-Clone Wars, pre-rebellion era. I'm here for it, and to see it in animation is just beautiful.
Just incredible.
Beautiful stuff. What did you guys make of it overall?
Lovely. Lovely. Fucking hell. Beautiful. Are we just going to go in and discuss it a little bit? Because there's a few little things here.
I've prepared a couple of...
man.
I've prepared a couple of character-specific slides that we'll get into as we go along. But yeah, just overall thoughts, guys. What did you think?
It's hard to even muster it because
it just. I lost my shit when Captain Palion came on screen.
Mate, same. As soon as it was about the TIE Fighter, TIE Defender rather program, and Palion comes out, I'm like, we're gonna go through each of them. Palion comes, then along comes Rook, and then finally cherry on cake. Even though we knew we were coming, But it's just like, it was like constantly like teasing you in. And he comes on screen. And I would
Yeah,
make
he
a
did.
joke there. I would make a joke there, but I'm not, because that's
I think we all knew where you were going with it, Dan.
Oh, look at my blue boy.
Yeah.
Before he was Grand Admiral, that glint in his eye of ambition.
It
A
was
dirty grey uniform.
It was really, really cool to see him at this sort of point. Like, I don't know what it was, but just the whole premise of him, like, this is where he starts to put the pieces together, and this is where his plan, like, really starts to kick off.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is the spawning point for what we're gonna ultimately see in Ahsoka season 2. One thing that really surprised me about it, because I'm not going to lie, Morgan Elsbeth as a character, while she's had her interesting moments in Mando and in Ahsoka, I've never really been fully invested in her. She's always been more of a side character for me. But to see the origin of the character and to see her motivations, her reasons for being, her reasons for, you know, acting the way she's acted so far, I was so like, her arc was probably my favorite of this series, in terms of just how well-rounded it was. I thought it was really, really good.
I think they took a character that a lot of people wouldn't really think to explore. Like, there's lots of characters that they could explore within the Empire era, but they took someone who is pretty much, to begin with, a bit of an outsider to that, and just develop her and run with her, and explore how she kind of gets involved with the Empire. I love that. I love it, seeing how the inner workings. Yeah, it's great.
I think for me it was just the whole. It was like after what happens to her on Dathomir, and then that fast forward to the era of the Empire, and seeing her pitch the TIE Defender project was a real surprise. But it was the way it was sewn in, and the way it ties into what we know from Rebels and obviously Legends and all that sort of stuff. The way that Dave Filoni has seamlessly tied all of these characters together in a way that I think, you know, I hate to harp on about it, but if this sort of attention to character development and character interaction and the way that these stories intertwine had been applied to the sequel trilogy, I don't think there'd have been any complaints about it. You know, I think now they're really finding their stride. Dave is absolutely knocking it out of the park. And, you know, while we're on the subject of Morgan Elsbeth's character arc, can we just take a moment to appreciate not the reappearance of General Grievous, but the animation model that they use? Holy hell.
We've been waiting some years to see that.
Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, my wife and I, a few weeks back, we watched the Clone Wars movie for the first time in God knows how long. And to see and to like compare the differences in the animation. I know it was 2008, you know, there's an argument to be made for that, but just to see how far, you know, there were aspects of this series where I had to stop and remind myself I was watching an animation.
Yeah.
Especially like with Darth Vader's appearance and General Grievous. Like, I thought that is animation style. I don't think they've done it. I don't think they're on an absolute roll, and I hope they keep this going. If they do a Tales of the First Order or a Tales of the Resistance series, like, just pile it on me.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm so
you know what really impressed me about the animation? The one thing that I thought I had to do a second take and go, this is bloody animation, not live action. Is the scene where you've got Morgan Elsbeth on top of that mountain, and she goes down on her knees and she sort of punches the soil and grabs it, and it's all, you see all the different grains and bricks and whatnot, the actual ground of it. If this was a few years ago, not even 2008, that would have just been a textured surface.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going places, man.
The animation is just, I think with Bad Batch, it's just constantly elevated.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
Yeah. It's never been better. Lucasfilm Animation are absolutely knocking it out of the park. I mean, for me, the thing that really got me as to whether or not I was watching live action or animation was when Vader takes his seat on the throne, and I was like,
Yeah.
that side profile of his helmet, I was like, that looks like a still from the movie. Like, even down to the reflections of the light and the textures in the metal on his helmet, like everything was so beautifully crafted. Like, you know, hats off to Lucasfilm, man. They're absolutely nailing it. And not just in terms of the animation, but giving us stories that we've wanted to see
Oh my god.
sort of a culmination of for years, you know.
Perfection.
Finally finding out. And do you know what I loved about this one? I'll get your guys' thoughts in a minute, but for me it was, I think a lot of fan theories, when Rebels came out, for example, I think a lot of fan theories were, you know, the general consensus was that Barriss, you know, went the way she went at the end of the Clone Wars, and she's going to be an Inquisitor. That was the fan theory, wasn't it? That she was going to pop up again as an Inquisitor at some point. And the fact that they've not only, it felt like fan service, but done really tastefully, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was the next logical step for the character, and the way that this entire arc played out was the exact way that I would have wanted it to go. Like, I don't think there was a better way to handle Barriss Offee's character than they did in Tales of the Empire. Like, it was absolutely perfect. And again, going back to talking about how the characters intertwine and how these stories, like, you know, merging the stories of characters that we already knew with characters that we've only just been introduced to. Barriss Offee's arc, it was put in a box, it was wrapped with the most elegant paper and tied off with the most sophisticated bow. It was so good. What did you think?
Artistically done.
Yeah. You know, no secret my love for the Clone Wars. Unexpected, I'll say, because I thought, oh, well, she's going to be an Inquisitor, you know, give herself to the dark side. The things you would expect at face value.
Yeah.
And I didn't think too much into it. I don't know why. Maybe I just thought, oh well, maybe I've learned, you know, from having wild expectations that don't get met. But again, I wouldn't have changed how a story developed for the world. I think it's a perfect representation that in that galaxy at that time during the Clone Wars, you could be a good person with different intentions and different opinions. You know, I just enjoyed it. I was satisfied, shall we say?
Yeah.
It's definitely paving the way in regards to how to do a short of something, because they don't feel rushed, but they don't feel slow, or you don't feel that other things needed to be touched on.
Yeah.
It's the correct amount of information, the correct amount of storytelling, in the right amount of time, and
absolutely.
Yeah, I can't fault it. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, I got to a point where I was watching these episodes, and even though, like, on average they were only 15 minutes long at most, it felt like a full length episode of an animation series. It didn't feel like anything was missing. It didn't feel like you said, James, anything was packed in and rushed. It was just beautifully executed. I don't think there's a better way of telling these stories that not necessarily take precedent and need to be told in a movie or in a limited series, but just little details that we need to see and we need to know about. This is the perfect format for them, you know. And I think it was just beautifully done, beautifully crafted.
For me, how they handled two really complex characters. I mean, to begin with, Morgan Elsbeth, I didn't really expect too much, like how in depth they could go with her. But then, obviously, when we learned from Ahsoka that she was a Night Sister, seeing that and how that impacts her, like seeing so many different sides of different coins. Like with Barriss, I think Barriss is the best one to describe it, in the fact that she's... I'm trying to think how to even describe it myself, but she's like... In the Clone Wars, she does sort of become a villain. She's like the one that frames Ahsoka, and I think most would speak for it, like, what? Why do that? But then you come into this, she's recruited into the Empire, and then she goes back on herself, and it's like a growing of her own ideologies and changing of that. And I love when Star Wars does that, when it takes the idea of someone who could be bad, but they can be redeemed. It's like the whole thing with Vader.
Yeah.
Like Anakin being the good guy, then becoming Vader, then becoming Anakin again. It's like poetry. It rhymes, and that's what I love to see with Barriss. And the whole thing at the end, like towards the end, when she sends the family off. Who is she referring to as she? Is it Ahsoka?
Yeah.
Have they finally kind of made peace with each other?
That was my first.
My heart.
My first thought was, this has got to be, this has got to be Ahsoka when she references an old friend. I don't think there's many other people it could be. To see, I think we're going to see more of that story. I think the time jump at the end of that episode was evident that we're going to see more of that story. The fact, because I didn't piece together the fact that, when Barriss is, she's become the hermit and she's escaped the Empire and all that sort of stuff, and she's become this healer. I didn't think at first that, that she removes the hood and you see that she's aged a little bit, but the pieces didn't fall into place for me immediately until Lynn appeared. And then I was like, oh, hang on a minute, wait. So this is post Obi-Wan. So Lynn survives the events of Obi-Wan and whatever else happens around that period. Barriss is, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 15, 20 years older than she was at the end of the previous episode. So now we're jumping into sort of post Return of the Jedi sort of territory. Are we going to see the culmination of that story? Is the actress who portrayed Lynn in Obi-Wan and in Tales of the Empire, is she going to reprise her role in Ahsoka? And are we going to see the culmination of that story play out in Ahsoka? I think that's the perfect way to do it. I think that's the perfect place to do it. And like I said, the time jump for me just made that abundantly clear that that's where they're going to go with it. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm not a creative by any means, but
with you saying that, then that makes complete sense why they've put Morgan Elsbeth's episodes in with that, packaged them together to give people a reason to watch the next season of Ahsoka. Cause
exactly, it's to add context to that.
They've shown with Ahsoka itself that they can do that. They can literally bridge animation to live action pretty damn seamlessly. Yeah, it's really good. I'm excited, tasty. And I'm like I said, this is what I'm saying about like I'm really hoping that somewhere down the line we're going to get a Tales of the First Order or a Tales of the Resistance series, because I feel like I said, there's stories to be told from every era of Star Wars, but I think this is the perfect format to fit in those little stories that just tickle those details and just finish things off a little bit and just like I said, get that bow and just tie everything up. I think it's perfect. It's such a good idea. I'm so glad that it's a thing. I'm glad that it's not. We're not just limited to Tales of the Jedi as well. I'm glad that they've expanded it into other areas.
Oh yeah.
I'm all for it, and absolutely.
That raises my next question to you guys. Since we touched on the Bad Batch a little bit, and we're talking about Tales of insert name, do you think that the story of the clones is over, or would you guys still be up for seeing like Tales of the Clones or some insert catchier title? Because I am a mundane normal person and by no means can come up with cool sounding things, but even with how the events of the finale of the Bad Batch went, part of my brain is still going, but Rex looked like he suffered some sort of great loss when you meet him in Rebels, to the point where he doesn't immediately want to join another fight. So
it's not only that, but it's how that trio comes together in the way that they do in Rebels. Like You know, we got a look at Wolf in Bad Batch, but we didn't really, and we saw that tension, that standoff with him and Rex, but we don't know the details of how Rex approached Wolf and said, you know, come with us, basically, and you know, this isn't for you. Like, obviously there was that questioning from Wolf, but we didn't see it finalized, and we didn't see the agreement come into effect that, yeah, I'm going to come with you, and that's the right choice to make. It's the same with Commander Cody as well. I think they've purposely left that open ended for him to pop up again at some point in other media. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I don't feel like the clone story is over. I feel like it's as much of a integral part of the grain of Star Wars as the Force and the Jedi and the Sith at this point. I feel like it's a story that there's multiple branches that it can divert off onto. Yeah, I don't think it's over by a long stretch. I think even post sequel era, the cloning story and the idea behind that and where that all goes is a story that we're going to see told for a long time. Yeah, definitely. Darth Cader will just pop to some comments in the chat now before we get on to some product reveals. But Darth Cader says, I would love to see Tales of the Empire with a Republic officer. Witness the creation of the Empire. Second episode set in GCW and then TCW, sorry, and then the Imperial Remnant perspective with the First Order, maybe. Yeah, like stuff like that. Like that's what I loved about the Bad Batch, is that it shows that transition from the Republic into the Empire, the phasing out of the clones and all that sort of stuff. There's still more they can do with it, and I really want them to touch on it more. And I think we're going to get that. Sea Lion Studios, obvious choice, but Tales of the Bounty Hunters, first three about Django in the Mandalorian Civil War, then 3 about Boba and Cad Bane. I think the world is their oyster at this point. You know, we're
missing the obvious one, Dark Disciple. We got Ventress back.
Yeah. This is it. I think there's a lot of stuff. Be it from Legends or be it from current canon, and that they can pull from comics, they can pull from games, they can pull from all sorts of different Star Wars media, bring it to animation. And because I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a massive gamer, so I don't tend to invest much in the Star Wars video games. I know the stories, I know the characters, but I'm not there. You know what I mean? My finger's not on the pulse. The same with the books. Like, I don't read many novels. I don't really dive that far into the comic books. So to see stories from that side of Star Wars media brought into animation, where I can just stick it on the TV and watch it play out, I think that'd be an amazing opportunity. And I think that's definitely something that they're going to look at more going forward. Absolutely. And I'm so excited for it. So excited for it. But yeah, general consensus then, Tales of the Empire. Great success.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
Very good.
So many opportunities, all the opportunities for more.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of opportunities, let's dive into some product reveals. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, there was, of course, a Hasbro Pulse fan stream on Friday. Gave us a few... You know, it gave us a few looks at some stuff that had been pipelined a while back, gave us a look at some new products, gave us some new pipelines, but there wasn't a massive, like we said, there wasn't a massive amount revealed. So for the purposes of just keeping this stream a little bit lengthier and giving us all something to chat about, I've pulled some of the reveals that we got from maybe a week or two back that we haven't had a chance to discuss on a live stream yet. So the first one I want to touch on, this is something that was pipelined a while back, but we've finally now seen product images of it, and I'm keen to get your guys' thoughts on this. But being from the Black Series, it is R5D4, that guy, and pit droids. I personally, I like it. I love the presentation of this set. I love the additional accessories that R5D4 comes with. I love that we've got pit droids now as a mainline release. But for me, I've already picked up the R5D4, so I've got no need for it. I made that conscious decision to pick up the basic R5D4 knowing that this release was coming. So for me, I see this, I think it's cool, I love it, but I'm not motivated to go out and buy it. Where do you guys stand on it?
Similar, to be fair. I'd be a little more excited for it if I hadn't have already got the single release of R5. Feels a touch crafty, but that's how businesses make money at the end of the day. If you haven't got R5, it's, winner. It's great.
Yeah.
But
That's where I fall.
Brilliant. That's good. That's good. So you've not picked up the basic R5 yet, then, Dan?
I haven't even picked up the basic R2 yet, and I'm still kicking myself about it. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I do kind of want this because I do want pit droids. But it is a very cheeky release. I do feel like when they do eventually release Peli, they'll include the other pit droid. And then, yeah, that'll scratch the autistic itch that I need all of them. So I will probably get this. If I see it on discount, even more so. That's like a given.
We've got to go to Peli as well. I mean,
yeah.
To go with this,
I think maybe I think a set similar to this with Peli might be a better shout. Just because I feel like by herself she's not going to sell that well. I hate to say it because I love her character, but I just don't see that figure selling very well if it gets brought out as a basic release. If they release it similar to this, where swap out R5 for Peli, I think you've got a winner on your hands, because it'll probably encourage the people who aren't picking this set up to pick up that one. But yeah, like I think we've covered both sides of the coin with this one, really. If you've already got the R5, you don't need this set. If you haven't, it's an absolute winner because you're getting more stuff. Obviously, you're getting all the additional accessories that come with that basic R5D4, but then you're also getting the additional jet thrusters as well, which is, I think, awesome. I love that touch.
Yeah, I want them, to be fair. I like that.
Same. I think
you've got me money again, Hasbro.
This is it.
But you're still getting me money.
This is it. I'm finding myself as I'm talking about it thinking, well, there is justification there because my R5 that I've got currently sits on my episode 4 shelf.
That's it.
So if I get this one, it can sit on the Mando shelf. But money. We did get another reveal a while back, a few weeks ago, and this was another one that got pipelined some time ago, but now we're finally seeing product images of it. It's another Blue Mando.
Hey, I mean, I'll buy it. It's cool, but getting a little bit of that Mando fatigue. I won't lie.
Yeah, I think for me, this is probably this is for me at least much better than the Mando Night Owl that they announced a while back. There's just something about the helmet and the deco on it. It looks a little bit better. I'm a little bit more inclined to pick it up, but I'm not so much suffering from Mando fatigue. I'm suffering from Blue Mando fatigue. I want Hasbro to know that there are other colours available. I mean, we're going to move on to it in a second with a release from the Vintage Collection, but there's so many other Mandos that we've seen in The Mandalorian that we can see that we can get. I mean, we are, like I said, we are going to touch on it later on down the line, but this is it's cool. It's another unique Mando, but it's not scratching that itch for me just yet. It's probably going to be a clearance buy for me.
It'll be a clearance buy, but touching base on the colour thing, Hasbro could just make up their own colour scheme and I'd buy it. Just do anything other than blue, make it somewhat canon, I'd buy it because it's a shelf filler. It's just
that's it.
That comment.
Yeah. It's just a
Jodo cast, that's it. I saw that.
Yeah. Jodo cast, Jasta Mareel, Montrose, not all the Mandalorians that they make have to be from the Mandalorian. Just putting that out there. But yeah, like I said, it's just another Blue Mando. It doesn't get my juices flowing, unfortunately. But moving over to the Vintage Collection, and some reveals that we got from that a few weeks back. We've got the Mandalorian Judge. Now this is good. This is what I want. This is what I want to see. I I picked up the Funko Pop version of this character recently, and I love the color scheme on this. Going back to what we were saying about Jaster Mareel and Montrose, this is giving me Mando Civil War vibes. You know, I'm looking at Jaster Mareel and Montrose on my shelf, and I'm thinking, yeah, this is the type of stuff that I want. You know,
hodgepodge
Oh,
of
yeah.
colours. It's beautiful.
I pre-ordered this. Very, very excited for this one.
it's good, isn't it? It's really nice. I love the
Yeah.
color scheme on it. It's really, really
Okay,
good.
everything. It's just
Yeah.
it's a Mandalorian that had quite a unique purpose in the show as well.
Mm,
Yeah.
Of all the different background ones you could pick,
that's
you know.
it. Yeah. Pair this up with your TVC Paz Vizsla, and you know you can start filling out that scene.
Give it a month, and there'll be one in a box with a Grogu, probably.
Yeah, and a child Mando. Yeah. No, I'm all about this. I mean, like I said it earlier on, you know, we do tend to give TVC a bit of a hard time on these streams. Sometimes it's warranted, sometimes it's not. I'll be the first to admit.
If the next figure's where I think it is, it might be a touch warranted then, Steve.
Oh yeah, it is. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff we want to see, man. This is what I'm here for. You know, I sporadically pick up 3 3/4 inch figures these days, but this is one that I'll buy. It's one that I like, and I'm going to say it. Throw shade at me, I don't care what you say. It's one that I'm excited to get in Black Series when that inevitably gets done. So
Yes, please.
you know,
Please get it in Black Series.
yeah, it's really, really nice. Big fan of this one. Going on to what James just mentioned, I think he's psychic, so it is naturally TVC Cal Kestis in Imperial Officer Disguise. James, I'm going to hand this one over to you, my friend, because out of the three of us, I think you're the only one that's actually got some sort of serious familiarity with Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. So talk us through this one. We've gone into detail about it in previous streams, but this one is...
So what it is, basically, you start out the game and you've Cal's just like given up being a Jedi and he's working in this dive bar. He's got his chef whites on, he's flipping burgers. You infiltrate some kind of Imperial facility 3/4 of the way through the game. I suppose it reinforces what's said in Andor about the Empire being completely oblivious to everything around them. You basically just throw on a spare uniform and freely walk through this facility to get to where you need to be. Okay. I can't remember the specifics of it. It's something to do with one of the main characters. That Boda Kuna is. He starts out as a mercenary that helps you, and then he betrays you, and you find out that he's another survivor of Order 66, but he's working as a paid soldier for the Empire. But yeah, I don't think it warrants a figure, but I know why it's been done.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why it's been done before certain others.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I know, just going on what I've seen in the comments on the live streams and on the YouTubers that have touched on this figure in a little bit more detail, isn't this one littered with inaccuracies as well? There's a few things that Hasbro haven't done in terms of, you know, touching it up to make it accurate to the game, or am I making that up?
I couldn't tell you, to be fair, but it wouldn't surprise me if the rank badge is wrong.
Just about to say, yeah, I think it's like little details like that they've not tweaked to make it accurate for this release. For me, like I said, I sporadically pick up TVC figures these days anyway, but this is one I'm probably going to pass on just because of my lack of familiarity with the stories in the game. I don't know, it's not something that jumps out at me, if I'm being honest. I honestly thought, if I am being honest, that this wasn't actually a part of the story in the game. I don't know why. I've just got this thing about video game figures where it's a variation on a character we've already had. I've just got it in my mind that it's part of a download pack, or it's an alternate costume for a multiplayer or something like that. like I said, I'm the first to admit I'm not a massive gamer. I don't invest in the video games, so I've got no idea. But yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, I don't need it. It looks, I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks great on a card, and it is for all intents and purposes a nice looking figure. You get BD1 with his alternate paint job there as well. But yeah, it's just not something that appeals to me. What about you, Dan? I know you're not really bothered about TVC anyway, so where are you standing on this one?
Yeah, I think I'm the same with you because I've not got any familiarity, even though I've watched gameplay videos of it online. Yeah. If you're gonna get it, I like that you're having your cake and eating it. I probably won't be picking this up unless it's in a bargain bin. But that's okay. That's fine. I will say though, why can't we have it in Black Series?
I'll refrain from saying that this time, Dan.
Do you know what? I'm going to do the same because I don't really want it. But like I said, that's just me. It's probably going to tickle somebody's itch, and that's fine. But yeah, I don't think it's for me. Moving on to the stream that we got on Friday, the May the 4th stream. We'll start with the one solitary. Well, there were pipelines, but there was one solitary TVC announcement, which I'm guessing even some of the people watching this stream, knowing that we are pretty much fully fledged Black Series collectors at this point, it's going to upset a lot of people that there was barely any representation for TVC.
It's Salt.
Very well done.
Fantastic. But that being said, even though I'm not, all in on TVC, even though it's not something that I'm all that bothered about these days, I've got to admit, this surpassed my expectations, and it's actually pretty cool. It's the Vintage Collection X-Wing Pilots set. Now, we covered this as part of the pipeline reveals on the last stream we did during the Imperial March campaign, and the image that they showed of this for the pipeline reveal, even though it said 4-pack of X-Wing pilots, it never clicked with me until I rewatched that stream back to edit it, to add the stuff in post, that they'd used an image of Snowspeeder pilots, even though the box said X-Wing pilots. Now, I was a little bit confused about that. I thought, are we getting the Snowspeeder pilots from the scene that's been pictured? Are we getting, X-Wing pilots that we've already seen released before, but on new bodies? Are we just getting an army builder set? What are we actually getting here? And this really surprised me, but in the best possible way, because I wasn't expecting this. I'm assuming these are non-character specific pilots. I could be wrong because, again, I don't play video games. I don't read comics and books and all that sort of stuff. But am I on the right track with this? Are these? I didn't watch the stream, so I'm not sure whether they named these characters or not. But I'm guessing they're non-character specific.
Yeah. As far as I'm aware, you can have different alien skins in the 2015 Battlefront game. I think that's as close as they come to appearing in anything mainstream-ish. Other than that, it's made up. No names. Call them what you like.
Yeah. That's good then. But yeah, it was the addition of the Duros pilot that I was like, whoa, hang on a minute. This is creative. This is the type of stuff I want to see Hasbro tackle. This is really good. Like I said, just the idea of these non-character specific pilots and throwing an alien in there as well. I don't think we've seen anything like that since, we got Elo Asti in the sequel 3 3/4 inch line, and the other one, I forgot his name, the one that was similar to
Renali.
That's the one.
Yeah.
But in terms of a fully fledged 3 3/4 inch articulated pilot, alien pilot at least, looking at my shelves, I don't think we've seen something like that since the Legacy Collection and the comic packs. So this is really cool. I'm all for this. Again, I know that probably some people are going to be a little bit cheesed off that this was the only TVC release or reveal from the recent stream. I sympathise if you're a collector of that line and that line only. So that's why I'm trying to give this as much, good coverage as I can, because like I said, it is cool. I really, really like it.
I'm jealous as a Black Series collector of these like 4-packs that they've released. Like they've not all been like that. I mean, that Imperial Officer pack's a good example where it's a bit like meh, but it's still a nice inclusion because it's just filling out your ranks.
Yeah,
and this is excellent. It's just brilliant.
It is. It's really, really good.
Easy head
Yeah,
swaps.
exactly.
But that's the right sort of head swap you want. You don't want to just have. It's had thought put into it. It's great.
That's it. Yeah, it's the type of stuff that we want to see, and kudos to Hasbro on that one. Josh B's just popped into the chat and mentions that they said they were New Republic. Not familiar with them, but that makes sense.
They did mention on the stream 2 of them have got New Republic symbols on the helmets for a little variation.
Okay, liking that then. Again, little details like that, I'm all for it.
I did slightly wonder as well, because while I was watching the stream, the one at the end, human female, she looks a bit like Iden Versio. Doesn't Iden become a rebel towards the end of Battlefront 2?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
There's a bit of like ever so slight lightness. Anyone wants to correct me, anyone wants to say I'm waffling absolute tribe, go for it. But there's a bit of that's what I thought, because I immediately when this came up, I thought Battlefront 2, because there's that Duros alien in it. I forget the name.
Yeah. Lando's mate, innit?
That's it.
Is it Lando's mate?
Is it Shiv?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that rings
like
a bell.
But some fella, Duros fella, it's like, you could have him as that. But
makes sense.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Still.
But with you saying that though, Dan, Inferno Squad, this is the perfect format to to do an Inferno Squad set. So Hasbro, if you are watching, which I know you probably are now, Black Series Inferno Squad set, please, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. Like I'm going back on what I said earlier about not being a gamer, but the Inferno Squad story from Battlefront was so good. Do one of these sets. Give me Luke Skywalker and give me Del, Iden, and the other one,
Gideon Hask.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm on. I want that. I want that. There we go. Brandon's there. He's taking notes.
Even if not Luke, an unknown Infinite. Oh,
this is it.
The droid as well. Oh.
Yeah, man. This is what I'm saying.
Oh, yes.
Perfect opportunity.
And then as a Black Series collector, I'd be like, oh, come on now, Hasbro.
Yeah. Moving on throughout the vintage collection, we got some more pipelines from Friday. Going back to what we were saying earlier about the Mandos, the 4-pack of Shriek, is that Shriek Hawk Mandalorians? That's piqued my interest. I like the idea of this. Again, perfect opportunity with those 4-packs to release different and unique, non-character specific figures. Really excited about that. Really excited to see what we actually get in it. What are your guys' thoughts on that? What do you expect to see from that set?
Are they the 4? Well, are they some of the Mandalorians that go after Paz Vizsla's child? Ragnar.
That was my initial thought. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take them. Like I said, they're not blue and they're Mandalorians, and
yeah, I think these are definitely more multicolored. So
the Tusken 4-pack they did was quite good. So it's in the same vein, just Mandalorian. So I already know it's going to look wicked with the rest of the stuff that I've got.
Yeah. So
I'm all for that.
Definitely. We've got Anakin Skywalker from. I'm just going to say it again because I said it in my Black Series clone review that I put up yesterday. But those epic flashback scenes from Ahsoka Episode 5. Not really sure about this one though, because I can't see it being, unless it's a completely new sculpt from the ground up, which again I didn't get time to watch the stream, so I'm not sure whether it is. but I can't see it being too different to the existing Clone Wars era Anakin that we've had in the Vintage Collection.
They didn't really say, but it's got to be done right. It's got to be brand new. There are a lot of differences with the costume and Hayden's hair and all that business, but I think action figures have moved on quite a bit since that mold came out. So do a new mold and then upscale it for the Black Series after. Cheers.
That was my initial thinking as well, because at first, when I first saw the image from the pipeline, I thought, I wonder if this is just going to be the pre-existing TVC figure, but on a new updated card from Ahsoka, which I thought, nah, if they do that, they're going to upset quite a few people. Yeah. But like I said, just based on that image and the fact that it is Ahsoka specific, I do wonder whether it is going to be a brand new figure. So hopefully we see it sooner than later. I know that Hasbro have got some plans to showcase some upcoming product at a certain Comic-Con coming up at the end of the month, which we'll go into more detail about towards the end of the stream. So maybe this will be on show there, who knows? But yeah, keen to see what the details of that one are. And then finally, the Armour Forge playset, which I did not see coming. That was a very
unexpected.
Very left field. Don't get me wrong, didn't see it coming, didn't expect it, didn't necessarily think I wanted it, but depending on how it's executed and how it looks, I think I might invest. I think this is a really cool this could be a nice little mid-range playset if they do it the way that I'm imagining in my head. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing that and how it's actually, like I said, executed. I love the fact that Hasbro are going back to playsets again. Really excited for the Moff Gideon Cruiser set. Really keen to see what that looks like as well. And yeah, you can add this one to the list. So what about you guys? How are you on the playset front? What do you? Because I know that James, you, I think probably more than Dan, tend to dabble in TVC. So where do you stand on playset?
Yeah, I haven't really got any other than the Navarro Cantina, and I only really bought that because I wanted the Death Trooper at the time because it was so hard to get in vintage, and then they bought a 4-pack out, and I felt like a fool. But I don't know. It makes sense for it to come with the armorer, so it really depends. I don't remember if they said on the stream if that was the case. So if it does, is it new? Has it got new things with it, or is it going to be an associated figure? That'll drive the point of sale for me, really, because I haven't got a lot of space to display big chunky things anymore.
I think it'd be cool if it was. Sorry, Dan.
No, it's right. Well, what I was going to say, something that I wonder is what Armour Forge is it? Is it one from season 1 or is it from season 3?
Oh, that's a good shout.
Because I could see them maybe do it as a catwalk for season 3, so you could do like the display with Din versus Paz, or is it going to be like a little diorama? Because if it's a diorama, I'd be tempted to get that. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking in terms of it just being like a sort of mid-scale. I'm not thinking that this is going to be sort of on the same sort of scale as like the Tantive 4 play set. I'm thinking this is going to be more of a smaller set like the Navarro Cantina, or maybe even smaller,
If they do the version from season 1, you've sort of got the play set functionality with the walls and the cupboards that open out with the different tools and materials. The Boba Fett one's a bit too open, and the season 3 one's a bloody cave. So I don't know.
Could be cool though. Either way, that whichever.
Absolutely. Not to detract from it being a very cool choice. Yeah, it's just got me scratching my head now. I'm just, the TISM is trying. Oh, which one is it? What would it come with?
They didn't really specify, and I think depending which one it is, I might might end up having to get some of the figs for that if I can.
This is
find
it.
them.
Well, this is
They
what I
do
was...
normally say that if that the one that they're making is the one that they picture, and that looks to be the season 1 version from where I can remember. So
this is what I was going to say about the figure that's included with it. If it is the Armourer, make it a little bit different to that first release from the Vintage Collection. Give it, like, I can't remember. Let me have a look. No, the original didn't come with the soft goods fur cape, so maybe a soft goods fur cape would be a nice addition.
jetpack.
Jetpack.
Definitely.
Different tools, maybe tools akin to the Black Series exclusive version where she's got the prongs with the helmet on, all that sort of stuff. There's some really cool creative stuff they could do with that. Like I said, I'm really glad that they're back on the playset bandwagon and that they're exploring more things to do within that realm. Like I said, again, going back to the Blue Mando situation, though, it'd be nice if they touch on stuff that's not from Mandalorian. There are other media. Just putting that out there, but be that as it may. Moving on through Friday's stream and onto the Black Series reveals. I mentioned in the post that I made on Instagram, plugging the stream before we went on air, that even though the reveals were slim, I think this is probably one of the most exciting streams that Hasbro have done for Black Series collectors, just because some of the figures, the character selection, I mean, we're seeing stuff that's already been pipelined, but now we're seeing the actual images of. In terms of what they showed us, I haven't been this excited about a bunch of products for a very, very long time. And I think a testament to that, and I'd be amiss if I didn't kick things off with the Black Series reveals with this set.
Oh.
Like,
went straight in my barsy as soon as it came live. I needed it.
Wow.
Perfect.
I do not think this, again, going back to what we were saying about Tales of the Jedi and how Lucasfilm Animation are handling things at the moment, I don't think this could have been done any better than it has. I am in love with this set. Everything about it, not just the figures, but the packaging, the background with
Background's nice. Oh yeah,
God, it looks incredible. It's really, really nice. This is something that I've been calling out for quite some time in terms of when it comes to the Black Series packaging. And I think I touched on it a little bit more when we talked in our last stream about the new box designs. But to see something a little bit different going on in the background behind the figures is a really welcome addition. If you're an inbox collector, I mean, I'm tempted to pick up this and not open it up because it's beautifully presented. And I love it. I think the packaging on this one is absolutely gorgeous. But the figures themselves, I mean, Enoch speaks for himself. But that Stormtrooper is... I can't get over it. The helmet sculpt on it, something about it looks different, and it look...
It's a great choice. Great design choice, that one particularly.
So good.
I just want more. If they do a single release of that Night Trooper, I'm going to need to get a big display for them. This isn't good. This isn't good.
Oh dear.
But it really is. It's just...
It's perfect.
It is. It's a beautifully done set.
It's my wallet talking.
Like I said, it got pipelined around the time of our last stream. So back in, when was it? Was it March? So the turnaround on this is really good. To see it pipelined a couple of months ago and now fully revealed, man, I'm excited for this.
Yep.
Instant purchase. Really good stuff.
For me, what's mad as well is I haven't pre-ordered Thrawn yet.
What?
I've pre-ordered this. I know. I've pre-ordered this.
My mind.
Thrawn.
Who are you and where is Daniel East?
I know.
I can't believe that.
Filth, innit?
I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Yep.
You're going down a path I can't follow.
Obi-Wan was right. You've changed.
I'm a changed man.
My God. My God. But yeah, general consensus, lads. Home run. Absolute
Perfect.
home run. It's only downhill from here. It's not. Like I said, some of the reveals we got from this last stream have just been absolutely amazing. And carrying on the theme of multi-packs, we move into the Clone Wars,
Oh yes.
and
yes.
we have
Yeah,
Yoda,
baby, that's what I've been waiting for.
Yoda and Clone Commander Gree. Now, I have the amount of comments I've seen on Facebook and Instagram. That's not Commander Gree. It is.
Yeah, it
It's
is. Educate yourselves.
But it is. This is the 2-pack that we saw pipelined, I think, last stream.
Yeah.
Which is based on the comic books. Now, I'm not entirely sure which comic book, but it's based on a comic book, and it's based on the comic book appearance of Commander Gree. Now, as we all know from the Clone Wars animated series, Commander Gree hasn't always worn the camouflaged armor. I think that was something that was specific to his Kashyyyk look.
Yeah.
This is obviously, it's a Phase 2 version, but it's much more akin to how he appeared in the animated Clone Wars series, but obviously it's based on his comic appearance. This for me, I mean, Commander Gree is a great figure in his own right. I'm excited about that, especially if it uses that new clone sculpt that I reviewed recently this week. If it's based on that body, then beautiful. But for me, the real winner in this set is Yoda. I love clones, but Yoda in this. I mean, I've picked this image to show on screen just because I love the fact that he comes with his council chair. He also features an interchangeable head. Obviously, it comes with all the weapons and accessories that you'd expect him to include as well. But the fact that it is our very first prequel Yoda, it comes with the Jedi Council chair. This is another perfect 2-pack. And
well overdue.
It's definitive straight off the bat.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Don't really know what else we can say about this one other than the fact that I'm guessing we're all buying it.
Yes.
Pre-ordered it.
Thought you might have.
Yeah. I was stressing out because people were saying on Instagram, it's sold out, because they did that thing where they don't communicate to people on the stream that it's getting an hour early access for premium members, which I can't say I agree with, but it was the US site and not the UK site, so I was a happy chappy.
But yeah, I'm really, really impressed with it. What about you, Dan? Are you getting this one?
Oh, absolutely. I think it pairs well with another figure that I'm sure we're going to show off.
Oh, yeah.
Which I absolutely love. I'm so glad that they didn't pack them together as a 2-pack, although it would have been nice. But this just forces me to spend more money, and I can't blame Hasbro for doing that. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. I love the alternative head because it completely contrasts the original trilogy one, where he's a bit more calmer. This is Yoda looking mad.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to go absolutely sick on Count Dooku. Spoiler him and Count Dooku would be mint, but no.
It's good, isn't it? It's good. It's good. Like I said, I mean, I mentioned in the review that I did on the Phase 1 Clone Lieutenant and the 332nd Clone Trooper. You can check that video out if you haven't done so already. It was posted yesterday. But I mentioned at the start of that review, Hasbro they're doing it more now, but they don't often tend to do multi-packs in the Black Series, especially 2-packs. But they're venturing into that sort of territory a lot more recently. And when they do, with the Clone Lieutenant and the 332nd Clone Trooper, the Super Battle Droid and the C-3PO figure set that Dan has reviewed. So go and check that out. The Mace Windu and 187th Battalion Clone Trooper. I'm probably forgetting others, but they're knocking it out of the park with the multi-pack figures. And what I'm really happy to see is the fact that they're putting the same amount of effort into figures in 2-packs that they would basic figure releases. So like years ago, maybe a 2-pack would have been a repaint or a retool of a previously released figure. Whereas now we're getting all new figures. We're getting newly tooled figures. We're getting variations on figures, but to the best quality. And I'm so here for that. And this one's no exception. So really, really love to see that. Yeah, very, very excited about this release. I think it's we need more prequel love. We need more
absolutely
prequel love, and I'm here for it. Which, with that in mind, again, moving into multi-pack territory, it is, of course, in 2024, the 25th anniversary of The Phantom Menace, and we got a 3-pack revealed on Friday from The Phantom Menace, and I have mixed feelings about this one. I'm going to reserve those feelings because I know things and I don't want to say too much. But we did get a 3-pack of Qui-Gon, Obi-Wan, and a brand new Darth Maul from Episode 1. Now, I have been struggling with the urge to pre-order this one just because I already have Qui-Gon, I already have Obi-Wan. The addition of soft goods robes is fantastic. It's something that should have been done with the basic releases. I already have them though. I don't need them again. I want that Darth Maul.
I've never hit pre-order so fast in my life. I already have Qui-Gon, but you know what? Soft goods and a new Darth Maul, it was calling to me. And if it ever does come down in price, I could see myself getting another to keep it boxed. It's beautiful.
It's almost like people know you.
Oh, thanks for calling me out there, Becky's builds.
I knew this was a given as soon as it got revealed, to be honest, mate. I really did.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? Like I said, I am absolutely thrilled that we're finally getting a brand new Darth Maul, just because that original release is over 10 years old now. Compared to other Black Series figures, it's incredibly outdated. This one looks absolutely stunning. I mean, we've got the boxed images there and the figures that we get in that set, but just for a closer look,
just incredible.
Soft goods robe, pinless articulation. This Maul figure looks absolutely fantastic, and I'm really, really hoping that I'm not making a mistake by skipping on this set, because I hope that we're getting a basic release of Maul. I really do.
I reckon they'll do it without the robe if they do.
That's why, for the time being, I'm just holding fire, because I don't want 2 figures that I've already got, but I do want that Maul. And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I already have these figures. I'll be skipping on this set. I already have Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, should I say? But Obi-Wan Kenobi is a figure that fetches an absolute premium on the secondary market. Now, like I said, there are things that I know that I'm not going to go into. So the decisions surrounding this set, I have mixed feelings about. I'll touch on that potentially later on this month. But I think as a box set, like Dan said, beautifully presented, really, really nicely done. Great to see Maul. Great to see the Jedi with soft goods robes. Great to get Obi-Wan back out there for people who missed him the first time. Dan, I can understand why you pre-ordered this one in a heartbeat, quite honestly, because it's a bloody good set. It looks really, really nice.
You put my horny boy in, I'm instantly there. I'm pressing the button and getting my ding doink up. I need it.
Safe to say that Dan's double-ended lightsaber has never been.
I needed something to sort of numb the pain of not being able to get that Disney Store Darth Maul lightsaber hilt. But
yeah,
this was a good compromise.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Yeah, very good. What about you, James? Are you getting this one?
Yes. I have Qui-Gon, I have Obi-Wan, but unfortunately my mind will not rest because I don't know if more will come out separately, and he probably will. And you'd have thought I'd have learned from my impatience by now, but I haven't. So
But you did.
Yeah. I've got my mate at Forbidden Planet sorting me out with one. So
good stuff.
It's all well in hand.
Nice.
Very much looking forward to it. Like you said about 2-packs, 3-packs are even a rarer commodity.
It's nice to see one that's like that people are going to actually want as well. I mean, the Jedi Fallen Order set that we took a look at in the last stream we did, you know, yeah, it appeals to a certain audience, but I don't think it's for everyone. Whereas I think something like this, just because it ticks boxes for people, you know, people didn't necessarily get Qui-Gon or Obi-Wan the first time around. You know, new collectors to the Black Series won't have a Darth Maul based on his appearance in Episode 1. So this ticks a lot of boxes for a lot of different people, I imagine.
And if people wanted that Darth Maul from Episode 1, which was released in the very first wave of Black Series, they'll get it for an extortionate price and think, why do I do that?
Yeah.
Because it is...
Even from what I gather, even the archive one goes for a decent bit of money now.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a nice upgrade over a figure that we needed an upgrade of.
I'm just so happy you can bring its legs closer together looking at that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the original's got such an annoying stance on it.
Yep. It does. And it's got the curved boot soles as well, so it doesn't stand up.
Yeah, those banana boat feet, man.
It's really, really annoying.
And I just say as well, whoever took the pictures, like whoever took these product shots, what a job they did, because they took some iconic scenes from the movie and just replicated them with the figures.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Brilliant, man.
Even the shot of Qui-Gon on his knees and Maul pacing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously don't show all the images on screen for the sake of time constraints on these streams, but yeah, amazing product glam shots. Really, really good stuff. Speaking of amazing Black Series products, we're going to move into our final two reveals from the Black Series now, and I'm going to save the best till last, but this one was a pretty close second. I am, you know, I watched your review, Dan, recently of that C-3PO and Super Battle Droid 2-pack, and I thought, I need that, and I'm probably going to get it, but then I'm probably going to get this as well. What I was saying earlier about the fact that when they do 2-packs, they're doing 2-packs now with the same sort of attention to detail and the same quality as basic figures. They're not just repainting stuff. They're not just, you know, throwing anything. They're not just repainting and repacking stuff like they would have done years ago. They're actually giving us new stuff and detailed stuff and top quality stuff. And what I love as well is when they do repack stuff, they're making it different. And they're making it so that it gives you a reason to buy both. Or if you don't want one, here's another reason to buy the other. And for this one, the addition of the blast effect is absolutely top tier. And it's little things like that. It's not a big thing, but it's little things like that that just put the cherry on top of a really, really nice cake. And in this instance, the Super Battle Droid, I don't have this one in hand yet, but I can already tell that this is an absolute stunner.
It's fantastic, as I've reviewed it.
Yeah.
I love how this version's completely clean, whereas the other one is very scene-specific, which comes in the 2-pack with 3PO. Like, there's lots of details in that I go through in my review. Hint, hint. And the blast effect, what a cool little addition.
It's so good.
I need this for my Republic Commando shelf. I need to remove the armour off it, so it looks like it's been completely decimated. Just, yes. Yeah. Yes, Hasbro.
James, what about you, mate?
Yeah, love it. The one in the 2-pack is a phenomenal figure. It's nice and weighty. Articulations, brilliant. When you compare this to the likes of the Magna Guard, this is a good way of looking at Hasbro learned from certain mistakes between those releases. Because this is how you do it with droid fig.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see more of these blast effects with other figures. So if you could get them with clone troopers, little blue ones, or do you guys remember back with the Attack of the Clones figures in 2002, you would get those clip-on ones to the lightsabers with the Jedi characters. I'd like to see something like that. It's not for everyone, but you know, when you've got how many figures are we deep in the Black Series now? Several hundred, 300, something like that. That's it. You know, stuff like that. It just breaks the shelf up a touch.
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked a better figure to show, by the way, because Hasbro, please, where is Heavy Monday right now?
Yeah, come on.
I mean, seeing it in the cabinet at Celebration last year was torture enough, knowing that I could see it and not have it.
Yeah.
And now it's over a year since then, so come on, man. Come on.
And that's another beautiful looking figure as well. I mean, we're not going to go into too much detail about it because we don't have any glam shots of it, but yeah. Whoa. Yeah, going back to what you were saying though about the Magna Guard, like that was a point I was going to bring up about this figure as well, because I've not picked up the Magna Guard, but I've seen enough reviews of it to know that I'm not missing much. That the issues that the Magna Guard has were my initial concerns with this figure, but thanks to Dan's review and thanks to the Forces with Jesse as well, I've got to give him a shout out because he reviewed that set as well. My fears have been quashed because this looks like it's a really nice, sturdy, top quality figure. You know, that's all I've ever asked, is that droids are made with the same sort of level of quality and detail as human or humanoid figures. You know, make them sturdy, make them so that they can, you know, don't mess with the proportions too much so that they don't stand up or anything like that. But, you know, add the same level of sturdiness at least to droids as well. And I think that's what we've got with this one. I'm really excited about it. I think other than the Destroyer droid, I think Super Battle droids are potentially one of my favorite, I'll say battle droid designs in terms of, not droid designs, but battle droid designs especially. So yeah, and this is another one where it opens up a lot of opportunities. Like I would love to see.
Oh,
you're reading my mind right now, please.
You know,
go on, Steve. Go on.
Exactly.
Say it.
Get a recreation of that 3 3/4 inch R2 with the flame effects, and you know, from Revenge of the Sith. And give us that as a deluxe like multi-pack box set thing. Put that in there. 2 Super Battle droids, one that's molten and battered and stuff.
Bit of that translucent orange plastic.
Do you want me to go one a little bit further though?
Yeah, we're going to say, because I don't think that was where you thought I was going with that. Was it?
It wasn't.
I like it. Give us the rocket firing battle droid from the Clone Wars with the big arm cannon.
Yeah, we're getting warmer to what I was thinking.
Okay.
Yeah. I want the jetpack ones from the Clone Wars and the Camino training ones as well.
Yeah, that's the one I was going to say, the Camino.
Because if there were a figure in the last 10 years worth repainting 100 times, this is the bloody one to choose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this and the Phase 1 Clone Trooper are
I think, aren't they doing a Jedi Survivor 3-pack where they're repainting the Battle Droid, the Super Battle Droid, and the Magna Guard? So,
aren't they?
We'll be getting another one. Yeah, I think it was Pipeline some time ago now.
Was it collection or was it Black Series?
It was. I think it was definitely Black Series.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm there for that then. That could be good.
That's tasty.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, we're coming towards the end of Black Series reveals now, but like I said, general consensus, they're absolutely killing it, and like I said, I've saved the best to the last. I have waited a long time for this moment, my little green friend. Oh
yes! Unlimited power! Straight in my basket, pre-ordered this. Need
straight
it
in your ear, straight in your ear holes and all, Dan.
Sorry, viewers.
Oh man, wow, what a release. Like, we all knew this one was coming. I didn't picture it being as good as it is. I honestly,
Agreed.
you know, like
Mm-hmm.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I just can't. I can't. I'm gushing. I'm absolutely gushing. Going back to what you said, Dan, earlier when we were looking at the Commander Green and Yoda 2-pack. You know, if you're picking up this figure, you've got to get that set just for the Yoda, if for nothing else, because recreating that Senate scene, it's my favorite. It hands down, it's one of my favorite lightsaber duels in all the Star Wars, and this version of the Emperor. I mean, I said it in 2005. I'm going to say it now. My favorite character in Revenge of the Sith is Darth Sidious. He's the epitome of evil, and this figure just captures it so well. It's absolutely perfect. I mean, it comes with the lightning. It's not a deluxe release, even though it comes with the lightning. Comes with the lightsaber. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I'm so happy they chose to do a plastic hood as well.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Man, it just looks so nice.
It does, doesn't it? It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. I'm really excited to see it in person. I really am. It's one of those figures where I think it doesn't happen very often, but you sometimes look at glam shots of a figure and you think that looks incredible, and then you get it in hand and there's little things about it that make you think, yeah, it looks good in the pictures, but this is a little bit not quite what I was expecting. But I've got a feel like they've done it a few times, to be fair, recently, where I feel like this is one of those figures that looks great in the promo shots. It's going to look even better in hand.
Oh yeah.
I am so excited for it. So excited for it.
I want to make a diorama for it. I really want to get, because I think someone's doing a 3D print of the actual
Senate pod.
Oh no way! That's awesome.
And to have him on that and Yoda facing off. Oh, I need it.
That's like I said, it's literally my favorite scene. In like one of my favorite lightsaber duels. When Sidious is it's the sheer chaos of it all. It's like, you know, throughout the prequel trilogy, you see that Senate Hall as being the place of peace and calm, and for the most part, you know, diplomatic solutions. And to see just, you know, Sidious ripping those pods from the wall and just flinging them with, you know, reckless abandon. It's
aggressive negotiations.
Yeah, it's just such a cool scene, and this is. I think I can say it already. I think it's a contender for Figure of the Year.
Without a doubt, yeah.
I've got that high hopes for it. So yeah, I'm really, really excited for this one. My resolve has never been stronger to buy.
Brilliant.
I will watch his career with great interest. You know,
the attempt on my wallet has left me scarred and deformed.
Insert your prequel memes
here.
Yeah. They need you, Danikin, more than you realise. And I need him.
It's so good. It's so good.
Man.
So
I'm interested to see what the body is under the robe.
Naked Palpatine.
Hey!
Liver spot Palpatine, like from the Dark Empire comic pack, please.
I was thinking more along the lines of, could they possibly have done a little bit of new tooling to future-proof a Chancellor Palpatine figure?
That's what I want to see. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Because every time I see, whether it's in action figure form or whether it's of photos of the costume, every time I see this version of Darth Sidious, my mind is instantly taken back to 2005, and I'm reminded of that 2-pack they did in the 12-inch line. I don't know if you guys remember it, but they did a Darth Sidious and Chancellor Palpatine 2-pack, and you got an abundance of accessories with it and all that sort of stuff, and it was so cool. I never got it, but it was so cool, and I'd love it if, following this, like James just said, we get a Chancellor Palpatine. It's not going to be an exciting figure. Some places it might peg warm. I'm okay with that, because it's, like I said, Darth Sidious in Revenge of the Sith is my favourite character in that movie. And yeah, I want every version. So plug it in my veins, please. What a release. What a release. I think, like I said, it's safe to say, even though there wasn't a ton of product revealed, Black Series absolutely killed it on Friday. Out of the limited reveals that we got, before we touch on our final product, as we wrap this stream up, what were your favorite Black Series? Because again, we're predominantly Black Series collectors here. For those of you that don't know, what were your favorite reveals from this stream, Black Series wise, at least?
We've just covered it.
Oh.
It said it's got to be Sidious, man. It's got to be Sidious.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy with that Darth Maul 3-pack. But Sidious takes it for me because we've waited so long for him.
Yeah.
And to have him is just...
That's the thing, isn't it? It's like it's the payoff as well. Like you say, we've waited for a while, and for him to be as good as he is, it's that payoff as well. I think for me, Sidious absolutely takes the cake. Top tier release. Can't wait for that figure. Enoch and the Night Trooper is a very, very, very close second though. Just due to the overwhelming quality of that set. Everything about it floored me when I saw it. I thought it took me back to the times of 2007, 2008 when you'd see a new character introduced in media, and then the figure would come out, and you'd be so excited to have a figure of that character that you've just seen on screen, and it'd be done to the best of Hasbro's ability. That's what we're seeing with that set. So I'm really, really, really excited about that one. But yeah, like you said, Darth Sidious takes the cake for me personally. We're gonna roll on throughout what Friday's reveals, and we are gonna come to a bit of a come down. But I feel like it's appropriate for this stream just because of how because of how yesterday went for me. And again, I'm going to touch on this that I picked up for those who weren't tuning in at the beginning. It was a very retro-focused day for me yesterday. May the 4th be with you. I picked up this set, which I'm really excited for. And I also picked up the entire wave of Obi-Wan Kenobi retro figures. And so to wrap up this stream, I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I know it's not, it's not for everybody, but we've got to address it because it's prequel. It's prequel love, and that seems to be rampant at the moment. So I can't dick on it too much. So it is, of course, the retro collection box set. I'll get again your guys' thoughts on this one in a minute, but for me, I'm not as excited about this one as I was about this one. I think the character selection in the Phantom Menace set is better. I don't really like the format of this one where you've got 3 figures from one movie, 3 figures from another.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a lot better if we'd have had an Attack of the Clones box set and a Revenge of the Sith box set. I don't like the inconsistency when it comes to the retro collection because we don't seem to get like a full wave of figures before they start dwindling things down. So you've got an abundance of figures from A New Hope, and you've got an abundance of figures from The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett and Ahsoka, to then only get 3 figures from each of these 2 movies is a little bit disappointing for me. I think if they'd have done a box set for each film and given us 6 figures, there are a number of other characters they could have done. Attack of the Clones, for example, I think would have been a much better rounded out set if it came with Mace Windu, Jango Fett, and Padme, which are great character choices. Jango Fett in particular, I'm really happy about. But where's Count Dooku? Where's the super battle droid? I don't know. I'm just having a look.
C-3PO of the battle droid head.
Exactly, that was the one I was going for. That would have been better. Revenge of the Sith, Anakin, Darth Sidious, Grievous and the Clone Trooper, Commander Cody, I don't know, who else can we look at?
Obi-Wan,
Obi-Wan,
so many.
Plo Koon, 501st Clone Trooper, Wookiee, Wookiee Warrior, Shock Trooper. There's so many other. Caleb Collects has just shoved it in the comments. Dexter,
Oh yeah.
There's so many other characters that they could have given us, and they could have done that had they done movie-specific box sets. But lumping 2 movies into one set, I just don't really like the idea of that. The figures themselves look reasonably nice, I'll be honest. Like I said, Jango Fett looks really, really good. I love the card artwork on this one as well. Same for Padme. I think she looks great and the figure looks great. Mace Windu, take it or leave it. The Clone Trooper's really nice. A nice little throwback to the original Stormtrooper. And Anakin and Grievous, I think, were givens. But yeah, I just feel like I don't have the excitement for this one that I did. I just feel like this was if you're gonna go the box set route with Retro Collection, this is the way to do it.
That felt peaked, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. This is top stuff.
This is like bittersweet. Bittersweet. That's all I would say on that.
Yeah. It's one of those things, isn't it? I think it's similar to how when the Vintage Collection first started up back in 2010, and we were all salivating at the idea of getting prequel characters on vintage cards. I think when the Retro Collection became a thing, we salivated at the idea of getting prequel characters in the retro Kenner style. Like I said, I'm thrilled to see it. I just feel like limiting it in this instance, you can make the argument for poor sales of the Retro Collection and all that sort of stuff. But for me, I don't know. My excitement was tempered when this one got pipelined, and to finally see it, I'm not all in on Retro Collection anyway, but when I pick them up, I make sure that they're the ones I want. I can honestly say, other than Django, I'm not overly fussed by this set, if I'm being honest. So, like I said, a bit of a come down from the Black Series stuff we were looking at last, but it just felt appropriate to talk about it. James, how do you feel? What are your thoughts on the Retro Collection as a whole? Because we've not really touched on that with you. How do you feel about this line? I know you're not a massive.
I liked it when it started. I picked up the first couple of waves. Thought it was a novel throwback and a good opportunity for people such as myself to experience, all of that hype and good comment that comes with the kind of stuff. And I thought they were cool. I just kept them carded. But I think I bought the Mandalorian ones, the first wave, and then I just sort of lost interest. Sold them off when the first few waves started to gain a little more monetary value, shall we say, on the secondary markets. And it's become more of a gimmick line for me. I've slowly lost any understanding as to, at least to me, it just doesn't appeal to me.
Yeah.
Like it does the same thing for me that like Carbonized and Credit Collection and the Black Series is. I don't know. I do agree though that if they were gonna do another box set, do separate box sets for each film, because you've lost the consistency now. At least with the box sets, it's like you get in a wave, and they are, they're all single carded inside the box. Whereas now every sort of set has got 6 or 8 figures, and now you've got a couple of films that have only got 3 apiece. Which feels a bit daft.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. For me, it started off as a novelty. I picked up the entire first wave of Episode 4 figures just because my personal collection lacks any sort of Kenner representation, because I'm not of that era. I've got no sentiment towards the original Kenner figures. I wasn't born when they were released. To collect them now is, if you want to do it properly and you want to collect them in great condition with all the weapons, if you're going down the loose route, or if you're going carded, you're looking at spending a small fortune. So for me, the idea of it when it was first brought about, I know that Steve Evans is incredibly passionate about it, and I'm totally behind his reasoning. as to why. But when it started, I thought this is a great opportunity for me to finally have some of that kind of representation in the collection, because you've got to, it's got to be said, no collection is truly complete without at least one figure from that era, So that was the main motivation for me. And when it started, I saw it as an opportunity of, well, this is a really cool idea, and they could do, like, especially when they did Tarkin, for example.
Tarkin was the main one.
This is a really cool way of doing those figures in the Kenner style and finishing the collections of the fans who were collecting these figures back in the 70s and 80s. Doing a Rebel Fleet Trooper, doing a Sand Trooper, Garrindon, all these other figures from the original trilogy. That's where I thought this line was going to go. When it diverted and it went into the Mandalorian wave, I thought, yeah, this is a way of just keeping, the momentum of current media. This is a way of capitalizing on that. But then when we got a second wave, we got one wave of Empire Strikes Back figures, and then we got two waves of the Mandalorian, and I felt like that was when the line started to sort of lose its way. And then I got both waves of the Mandalorian figures just because, again, I saw them as a kind of cute little novelty, and they do look really nice. I've got a set of them behind me, and I really do like them. But yeah, I just felt like it was sort of diverting from its course a little bit with the Mando figures, and then the next wave was Obi-Wan, and then the wave after that was Ahsoka, and then we went straight into we had the Return of the Jedi ones as well. And
they did those daft exclusives for the bounty hunters as well.
Yeah, I don't know, it just seemed a little bit all over the place for me.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like I said, it completely lost its meaning. It lost all of its appeal for me, really, up until obviously recently. I think when it's done right, it's a good line, and it's a cool line, and it's one that I personally get quite excited for. But yeah, at the minute it just seems to be a bit all over the place, and it's kind of like you're left there scratching your head thinking, what is actually going on? What are you doing with this line? What are you trying to get out of it? What are you trying to do with it? What's its purpose? And so yeah, I'm just not.
It's like with this wave, or like this pack, they've just missed what makes collecting. Like, I buy figures to get, for the partly, there are other reasons, but one of the main reasons is to get a cast of characters that I really like. And to get Anakin without Obi-Wan.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
It's like,
it feels weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Feels weird. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a massive. I don't get it. Supersonic 79. Do you peel off the retro stickers though? No, because for the most part, I keep retro figures well, I say for the most part, I've probably got equal amounts carded and loose. I don't trust myself enough to rip them off and not damage the cards, so I've not done that. Hate that sticker. I don't personally mind it, just because it sets the lines apart. It doesn't cause confusion with the vintage collection and all that sort of stuff. Like I said, going back to what I said, it's a fun little novelty. It's a novelty line, so the retro sticker doesn't bother me in the slightest. I actually quite like it, if I'm being honest. Controversial opinion, I know. I'm just here to disagree with everybody's opinion. But yeah, like I said, it just feels like it was following a course, it was following a track, and now it's just, the line's just fallen off the rails a little bit. And I don't think many people would disagree with me if I said it's time for it to go now. I think it's achieved its mission. It's got sets of figures out there that wouldn't necessarily have been released. Just wrap it up now.
let the past die.
Yeah.
When they are £4 a piece in the Entertainer, I mean,
Yeah.
speaks for itself, unfortunately.
That's it, isn't it? I mean, and that's what I was talking about in terms of the poor sales and stuff. There is an argument to be made for that. For me, I do like going back to this one. I do love the idea of box sets like this. For me, when I picked this one up yesterday, I couldn't wait to get it home and slice it open. And then the idea of getting a box home, and it was like opening a fresh case of new figures. Sliding each card out and getting to admire the artwork on the cards and the figures themselves. Like, it was really exciting. So I'm really happy with this one. And like I said, I think this is where the box sets might have peaked. Maybe in a few months' time, my opinions on that will change. But I don't know. It just feels, like I said, like it's lost its way a little bit. And I'm not going to be sad when they turn around inevitably, I think, at this point and say, yeah, retro is coming to an end. So, but that's just me. With regards to Friday's stream, though, nice amount of reveals. Like I said, the Black Series stuff absolutely crushed it. It's been a really exciting week for Star Wars and for content. It's been. I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's tuned into my recent reviews. It's been about a year since I've uploaded anything in terms of a review. Obviously, me and the guys have been doing these live streams, and I've said it privately, but I'm going to say it on air now. I owe you guys a huge debt for keeping my YouTube channel alive over the past 12 to 18 months, because if it wasn't for these streams, I think it's safe to say not my passion for Star Wars, don't get me wrong, but my passion for content creation and my passion for uploading to YouTube may have died out a little bit. But getting together with you guys and doing these streams, it keeps that passion alive. It keeps the creative juices flowing. And then, like I said, the opportunity that arose recently with Hasbro UK and Star Action Figures just gave me the kick up the backside that I needed to get some new reviews out. And so thank you to Daniel. Thank you, James. Thank you, Wayne and the team at Star Action Figures, Brandon at Hasbro UK and the whole team there. You know, I'm back.
He's back, baby.
I'm back. And, you know, and it's never felt better to be doing what I do. You know, I've been doing this for 15 years now, not to get sentimental, but I've been doing this for 15 years now. And, you know, I've taken sabbaticals. I've gone away for a while and come back, but this time feels different. This time feels like, okay, I'm the creative juices are flowing again. I'm ready to get some stuff out there. I'm excited for the stuff that's coming. I'm excited for the opportunities that are ahead. And, you know, it's just such an exciting time to be not just a fan, not just a content creator, but a Star Wars fan and collector as well. Like, it's such a great time to be a fan, and I'm so grateful to still be here for it. You know, to still be breathing for all this stuff. It's amazing. And like I said, a massive thanks goes to you guys for keeping that passion alive, and to everyone who's watching and to everyone who's tuned in tonight. You know, thank you. It's a great community to be a part of. And yeah,
it's good to see you back, mate.
It's good to see you back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, man.
You're
Always a pleasure, never a chore.
No worries.
Absolutely.
On the content creation side of things, Dan, you've had a bit of a content wave yourself this week. Tell us about what we can find on your channel at the minute.
Where do I even begin with how much content I've made? Well, there's my May the 4th video, which is actually a collection update. Finally did it. Finally showed it all off. And I got quite emotional while making it, although it doesn't come across it on camera, but I was sat there editing it. I'm like, oh God, this is hitting me right in the feels. So that's well worth checking out. I also did a mystery Star Wars review.
Do you know what? I spent the entire week, I was thinking to myself, I was like, what is it that he's going to do? Like, he never does this. He always announces ahead of time what he's reviewing.
Yeah.
Like, this has got to be something good. And then I watched your collection video first, and then your mystery review. And while I was watching your collection video, I was like, why didn't I see it? It was right in front of me the entire time. Like, how the hell did I not guess what it was? So, yeah, you pulled the wool over my eyes a little bit there, mate.
It's all right, but I won't say anything until I'm blue in the face. So if you could all check that out, much as love to you. There's lots of content on there, and more to come.
Nice
Content.
Nice. Nice. James, what about you, mate? You've been relatively active on the Instagram, haven't you? You've been popping up some photos and stuff.
Yeah, I like popping up a good picture. You know, when I take these pictures for Instagram of whatever figures it may be, predominantly hot toys, I can't say I'm normally proud of them because half the time I don't know what I'm doing. I just endeavour to go along, and my Instagram's a mess, but the one goal that I've got is if you go from the bottom to the top, hopefully you'll see that there is an improvement in how the pictures are taken or how it's lit, anything like that. I've started to actually kind of try and do a little written review under wherever it is.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Just for people interested. But I put a picture up of 2 501st clones with Anakin or Darth Vader at that point in front of the two of them, and I bloody loved how that turned out. I figured out how to put proper lightsabers on it in post and everything. I was like, ooh, now we're in the big boy leagues. But yeah, you know, follow me on Instagram if you want to see some nice pictures and just, you know, watch me generally talk crap on my stories half the time.
I'd compare it to toy porn, mate. That's what it is.
Oh,
as I'm on Instagram, wow. I'm like,
that'll do me. That's an achievement to have under my name when I'm dead and buried.
We've got a comment from Caleb who just wants to ask you, James, how do you like that DX28 Vader?
Very much. I can't say I was actually gushing over it immediately. Caleb will probably be familiar with a lot of the other Hot Toys based YouTubers online, and they all gushed over it. And I thought the cape was utter crap from the get go, far too thick, not accurate enough for something that's supposed to be the pinnacle of accuracy when it comes to collectibles. It took me about a week to get it how I wanted it, posed right, correct posture, cape that looks nice, but the head that's half Anakin, half Vader is lovely. It's very good.
Looks tasty. Does look tasty.
It does. I find myself having to constantly resist the urge to dive down that rabbit hole with Hot Toys. I'm finding it incredibly difficult, especially recently. Going back to what we were saying at the start of the stream, Star Action Figures at the minute, absolutely killing it. They've offered up some
wild sale.
Yeah, they've offered up some Hot Toy stuff in their sale, and I was like, credit cards looking a little bit full, but you know, that could be
do not make the mistake of assuming I am a wealthy man. I am just severely mentally ill.
Mate, look around, aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Oh yeah.
I think that's the reason for being here. You know, I don't think we'd be doing what we do if we weren't a little bit tapped. You know,
Figgy Collectors Anonymous, innit? I think that's what we should call this.
Do you know what? This is it.
You've got it, Dan. You've got it.
What
that's it. Say? Action Figures Anonymous. This is it.
Yeah,
that's you know what? Like for those of you that are watching, don't get a peek behind the curtain very often. Dan and James and myself, we communicate about these streams via Instagram, and when we put these together, we brainstorm topics, and you know, Dan does an absolute amazing. It's one of the things I want to touch on before we wrap up as well, is just the amount of effort that not only goes into the streams from the three of us, but the effort that you guys put in as well. Like James, you reach out to people to come onto these streams that we still need to get, still need to do. But you brainstorm the topics, and we come up with stuff, and we come up with the ideas together. Dan does an absolutely incredible job of making the intros. I'm obviously the Photoshop wizard, and I'm the one who puts together the slides that we present on screen and what have you. But yeah, I've just got to commend you guys just for your, like I say, your effort in putting this stuff together. It really does mean a lot. But yeah, that's one of the things is that we communicate about these streams via. I've completely forgot I'm off the rails. Train of thought's gone. I forgot what I was saying.
We've been brainstorming a name for a while.
That's the one. Yeah. In terms of a peek behind the curtain, like I said, we communicate about these streams via Instagram, and that's one of the things that we've been thinking about for a while, because this is by no means a podcast. You know, this isn't by no means anything official. This is just the three of us getting together for a goof, a gaff, and a laugh, and to chat about Star Wars. This is more for us than it is for you guys. You know, and like Dan just nailed it, it's action figure therapy. So we're trying to come up with a name that we can, instead of me putting on the video thumbnails, you know, the topic of conversation, and then Dan and James's online usernames, we're trying to come up with a name that we can use, like be it like Jedi Council, or like Dan just said, Action Figure Therapy, or Action Figure Anonymous, or whatever. We're trying to think of a way to uniform these streams and to get them all under one banner. And so that brings us to the final element of this stream tonight is, once again, going back to what we touched on at the beginning of the stream. Mr. Stormtrooper Davis over on Instagram has done, if you missed it at the start, some incredible artwork, some incredible toy photography recently, which Dan is very kindly showing to us on screen now. He's done some amazing toy photography recently, showcasing vintage collection figures and Black Series figures. And at the moment, if you head over to staractionfigures.co.uk and you spend £50 on in-stock or pre-order stuff, you get a set of 4 exclusive prints. This is just one of them, if you weren't tuning in at the start. While we've been talking about names for these streams, this actually brings up, because I've been racking my brain trying to think how to do this, but Wayne over at Star Action Figures and Hasbro and the guys at Hasbro UK and Mr. Stormtrooper Davis himself we've all come together. Like I said, we've been working on an opportunity recently where we've all been working closely together. And one of the opportunities that has arisen is an opportunity to give back to you guys who watch these videos. You know, whether you watch the reviews, whether you tune into the live streams, whether you just give us a follow and a like on Instagram. But one of the opportunities that came up was to give back to you guys. And thanks to Wayne over at Star Action Figures, I've got a few sets of these prints to give away. So why don't we open the floor to the viewers, guys? Why don't you guys watching, whether it's a comment on the stream or whether it's via a DM on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, your chosen platform of preference, I'm going to open it up to you guys. If you would like to propose a name for these live streams that Dan and James and myself put together on a semi-regular basis, shoot us a message, be it me, Dan or James. We will... I'll give it till we'll give it till June the 4th, when the Acolyte debuts. That's the deadline. Like I said, shoot us a message on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Come up with a name for these streams that connects us and binds us, and you could win a set of these 4 prints that Mr. Stormtrooper Davis has very kindly put together. So the floor is yours, guys. Get your creative hats on and come up with a name for these streams so we don't have to, and you can win some of those lovely luscious prints. Boshek71 is in the chat. Welcome, mate. It's been a long time. Got you a name. Quifflord 1000. There you go. Job done. It's not far off. That's not far off what we...
Well, everybody's just locked out at winning some prints.
That's it. Becky's builds, Action Figures Anonymous. I think that's the showrunner at the minute, but Dan, you've already got prints, mate, so you need to stop being a greedy boy. And Supersonic79 says the toy perverts. Not quite sure I'd still be able to monetize these streams if I called it that, but be that as it may.
Shall we say if we stay with Action Figures Anonymous, we'll still rank what we've been given and treat it that way.
Sub-name. It'll be a sub-name.
Yeah. Either way, whether it's a name we choose, whether it's a name we choose to use going forward, or whether it's just a fucking cool name, you might win some prints. So
and make sure you're following the three of us, because we crave self-validation as well. So
yeah, exactly that. Like I said, leave a comment. Leave a comment on one of our posts. Shoot us a message. Do what you need to do. Let us know, and then like I said, I'll get a set of those prints out to you as a thank you. But like I said, just to wrap things up, again, massive thank you to the two of you, to Dan and to James, for indulging me and allowing me to still talk toys. I mean, this is now the only opportunity that I get to show my face on camera these days, because I don't do the reviews from in front of the camera anymore. So there's that as well. It's these you've got these two to thank for, still seeing this. So there you go. But massive. That, like I said, these guys have done an amazing job of keeping my passion for Star Wars collecting and Star Wars content alive. So if you're not already doing it, subscribe to Dan's YouTube channel. Follow James on Instagram and subscribe to his channel as well, because he's got a banger of a collection tour video on there.
Yeah. Plenty of cobwebs, but we might dust them off one day.
Yeah, definitely.
You've just come out of retirement, Steve, so it won't be fair for me to do the same. We've got to space these things out. So there's got to be some order. There
you go. That's it. That's the kick up the backside that you need, my friend.
Yeah, maybe a few more first.
But I think just generally, guys, thank you to all of you who watch. It's an absolute pleasure to put this sort of stuff together for you, and thank you to everybody who tunes in. I love that, Darth Cadus. Thanks to Dan and James for the opportunity to see Steve's perfect face. Brilliant stuff. But have an absolute blast. We will be back, no doubt, sooner than later with another one of these. Like I said, some really, really exciting stuff in, to coin a phrase, the pipeline. There's some really, really exciting stuff on the horizon, stuff that I can't wait to tell you guys all about. So stay tuned to the channel. That's going to do it for this stream. Thank you again, you two, for joining me. I will let you get back to your evening. Thank you, everyone who has tuned in. And until next time, keep collecting, and may the 4th be with you.
Hey.
Oh.
Breaking all units. Fire at will. Pick your target. Want to stabilize the gold six. Anybody cover me. I got some bolsters on my tail. I'm gonna hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. Okay.